Okay, we have all been there, right? You've got this huge deadline breathing down your neck, but instead of working, you suddenly find yourself organizing your bookshelf by color. Yep. Well, today we're going to dig into the real reason you do that, and more importantly, how you can finally actually stop.
First things first, let's get one thing straight, because it's the most important piece of the puzzle. If you've ever beat yourself up for putting things off, thinking it's some kind of deep character flaw, well, I've got some really good news for you. That whole idea, it's a complete myth.
The truth is, procrastination has nothing to do with being lazy. It's actually a biological defense mechanism. You heard that right. It's your brain trying to protect you from something it thinks is unpleasant or even threatening. And this is really the key. When you're faced with a big task, your brain doesn't see the future reward, the satisfaction of getting it done. All it sees is the immediate discomfort, the effort, the boredom, the stress, and its number one job, its only priority, is to make that bad feeling go away right now.
So this kicks off this internal battle for your attention. In one corner, you've got that important thing you know you should be doing, and in the other corner, a whole world of easy, instantly satisfying distractions. Let's see how that plays out. I love this slide because it just lays it all out so clearly. On the left, there's the hard task. It's going to take effort, it might be a little stressful, but it leads to long-term success. And on the right, the easy escape. Scrolling through your phone, watching some videos, it gives you a quick hit of pleasure with zero effort. Now, which one do you think your brain is hardwired to pick?
And the culprit here has a name. It's a chemical called dopamine. It's the brain's reward chemical. Every single time you choose that easy escape, your brain gets a nice little shot of dopamine, which basically reinforces that habit of avoidance. It makes it even harder to choose the important task the next time around.
And these probably look pretty familiar, right? That quick check of your phone that somehow turns into 30 minutes, that one video that leads you down a 3-hour rabbit hole, or my personal favorite, when suddenly cleaning out the junk drawer feels like the most urgent and important task in the world. This isn't random. It's your brain actively hunting for that easy dopamine hit.
Now, there's another huge reason we procrastinate, and it's all about the size of the task. When a project just feels massive and you don't even know where to start, it sends our brains into total alarm mode. And this creates such a vicious cycle. You look at this mountain of a task, you feel stressed, so you put it off to make the stress go away. But the longer you delay, the bigger and scarier that mountain looks, which just creates even more stress. It's this awful loop of avoidance that can feel totally impossible to break out of. All right, so we've pretty much diagnosed the problem. We know procrastination isn't a character flaw, it's an emotional reaction. So the big question is, how do we actually fight back against our own brain's wiring?
And that's where this 5-step action plan comes into play. We're going to walk through some super simple, practical strategies you can use right away to basically short-circuit that procrastination instinct in your brain. So here's our toolkit. We're going to break down how to make tasks smaller, how to get rid of those easy distractions, use a simple countdown trick to just force yourself into action, completely reframe how you think about motivation, and get to the real root of the feeling you're trying to avoid. First up, and this one's a game changer, make it ridiculously small. I mean, so small it's almost silly. Your brain hears study for 3 hours and immediately hits the emergency brake. It just sounds awful. But study for 5 minutes? That's easy. It's too small for your brain to even bother fighting. The goal here isn't to finish. The goal is just to start. Because once you start, momentum has a funny way of taking over.
Okay, this one is absolutely critical. Remember your brain's escape plan? It's always looking for the easy way out. If your phone is sitting right there on the desk, you're making the choice 1,000 times harder for yourself. Put it in another room, turn off your notifications. You have to create an environment where the path of least resistance is the actual task you need to do.
This is the 5-second rule, and it is so simple, but so powerful. The second you have the instinct to work on something, you physically start moving within 5 seconds. You just count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It's this little mental trick that interrupts the part of your brain that would normally hesitate, overthink, and talk you right out of it. You're jump-starting action before your brain can stop you.
And this just nails one of the biggest myths about productivity. For our entire lives, we wait to feel motivated. But that's completely backwards. Action creates motivation. I mean, think about it. You almost never feel like going to the gym, right? But once you're there and you finish a workout, you feel amazing and motivated. The feeling comes from the doing, not the other way around. So let's bring this all home with what is maybe the single most important insight of all. For years, we've all been told that procrastination is a time management problem. Well, it's not. And this right here is the biggest takeaway of all.
You are not avoiding the task itself. You are avoiding the feeling that comes with the task. The boredom, the frustration, the self-doubt. It's an emotional regulation problem. And when you finally understand that, everything changes.
So, from now on, stop asking yourself, do I feel like it? Because let's be real, you almost never will. Instead, I want you to ask a different question. What is the absolute smallest, most manageable step I can take right now? That simple question shifts your entire focus away from an overwhelming feeling and onto a concrete, doable action.
And that really is the secret. The most productive, successful people on this planet feel the exact same resistance you do. They don't have some secret, magical well of motivation. They have simply mastered the skill of starting, even when they don't feel like it. They start small, they start messy, but they just start. So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about that one thing, right now, that you've been putting off. Forget about finishing it, forget about feeling motivated. Just ask yourself, what is the smallest possible action you can take on it right this second? Go do that, and let the action do the rest of the work.